put it on this computer. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Man, do we have an episode for you guys today, Brandon? How's it kicking over there, man?
Doing well yourself?
Can't complain, man. Good day. Solid Tuesday. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so ready. There's so much sports going on right now. I feel like
I know, right?
last week life happened, but the sports world didn't. You know what I mean?
No,
it was
the sports world does not stop for us.
pretty eventful. And we have like not even to waste time. Let's just get straight into it.
Let's do it.
But we have something spicy. We're gonna kind of follow the trend that's going on, and
Hop
this
on
is a
trend,
sports
yeah.
podcast. So we're gonna make it sporty. But let's get a draft going. And we created a board, and this board is 12 cereals, but we're only gonna do the top 5 picks. Each one of us get 5 picks. Okay. The board is Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Lucky Charms, Frosted Flakes, Honey Bunches of Oats, Captain Crunch, Honey Nut Cheerios, Fruity Pebbles, Fruit Loops, Golden Grams, Cocoa Puffs, Reese's Puffs, Rice Krispies. That's our board. We're going to make a starting 5, and we're going to draft, and we're going to see what happens.
Do it.
Brandon unfortunately lost once again. Unfortunately, that's the only thing that he lost recently.
Where are you going with this? I was gonna say, where are you going with this, bud?
Recently, he's been pretty good, but we're gonna get into that later. But
let's hear it. First overall pick.
My number 1 pick, right here. It could be a rainy day, could be a sunny day, could be whatever day you want it to be. Get me Honey Nut Cheerios, number 1.
Okay. A solid pick. I won't lie. Number 1 for me. I'm gonna take the Lucky Charms before you snag that. I know you're gonna snag that second. Really?
Take it, bro.
Bro, that cereal in general, it's so good, man. So good.
It's so good, but not good for you. But you can have Honey Nut Cheerios. It's a little sweet. It's a little, whatever you want it to be.
I'll be honest. Honey Nut Cheerios, I wasn't gonna take at all. You could have saved that for 5.
Okay, but okay. Ooh, okay. Don't worry. So you took Lucky Charms.
Yep.
Right. Yep. Number 2, give it to me, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, I saw that one coming off the board. I did.
That was gonna be off the board.
Yeah,
100%. Surprised you didn't take that first round. You could have got Lucky Charms 3.
See, that's risky. I thought one of those. I knew both were probably one of the two were going to be gone for round 2 for me. So,
okay.
With the second pick, I'm gonna take Reese's Puffs. That's what I thought.
That's a dark horse. I have to admit.
You were gonna take it at some point.
Yeah, but that's a little too high. A little too high.
It's fair.
Okay. You are playing this so bad. Give me Frosted Flakes, number 3.
That would be my
Frosted
5th pick.
Flakes.
That would be my 5th pick.
You're the type of person to put milk before the cereal. First of all, if that's your 5th pick, that's the equivalent. Okay. For the record, Brendan does not put milk before his cereal.
Cereal then milk. Cereal then milk. Let's be clear now. Oh, okay. I'll take some Cam Crunch on pick 3.
Oh, that's not even like in the realm of thought. No.
Really? Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Wow. I am playing you like a fiddle.
We have very different cereal choices. That's what we've decided.
Okay. I have a few directions where I could go in, right? I already got my healthy option. So like Honey Bunches of Oats, that's a top 5 cereal for me.
Yeah. Okay.
But like for value, I'm going to have to go Fruit Loops.
Yeah, that was going to be my next one. Fruit, solid there.
Have to for value only.
Yeah. I won't lie. The rest of I'm not too happy with the rest of the board right now. The choices really dwindle after about the top 5 or 6, in my opinion.
No, I think I got a dark horse. Depending on who you pick for this one, I have a backup plan.
That's fair. I'm gonna take Rice Krispies.
That's solid.
Yeah.
That's a solid 4th round pick.
Plus, they have options outside of cereal. You can make legit Rice
100%. That's the value.
Yeah.
That's the value you get when you like. Not only he's like could shoot the three, but he plays defense. He doesn't need to be having the ball.
Exactly.
He doesn't need the milk. Damn, that was good. Okay. Honestly, you didn't pick the last one that I wanted.
Okay.
Now, okay, we got two guys in my head. One of them, underdog, always has been, but been in the game for years. Okay.
Yeah.
We got a fresh blood, solid pick, changes the flavor of the team.
Oh God, this man.
This is a tough decision. I'm gonna have to go with the vet of Golden Grams.
Oh, it's a good one. It's a
The
solid.
vet. The vet.
That's fair.
But there's a steal on the board. Like this is a steal at number 10.
Who do you have? What's your top 5?
My top 5 is Honey Nut Cheerios, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Frosted Flakes, Fruit Loops, and Golden Grams.
I think I go with Honey Bunches of Oats for my 5th pick. Gotta get a healthy option there. Yeah.
100%. That was the only thing on the board.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Puffs, mid. Like
They're less
round.
Reese Puffs and Fruit Loops. Like it's just lesser items of them.
Absolutely. I have to admit, I did not put a chocolate on my team.
See, now that's a problem. That's a problem.
I'm looking at it now, but I have the sweet. I have
that's
the fruit,
why I
have the
stole
health.
Reese's Puff early. So you would have to go Cocoa Puffs or leave it blank.
But even if I went Cocoa Puffs, my team would significantly drop.
Yeah. That's
like right now, I don't
true.
have the shooters, but I have the defense. Like that's my team is defensive. Like all of them have claims to the fame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at it that way, I think we should do this a little bit more. I really enjoy drafting, especially because my draft team didn't really do well this week, but we'll get into it. Unfortunately.
Oh yeah, I had forgot about that because it was such a massacre. But yeah, we'll get on that later.
Yeah, let's get to sticking with the 5. Let's get onto the court a little bit. And man,
talk a little drama in the NBA. Why don't you?
Just what the heck is going on in Boston? For those that don't know,
apparently ring door cameras are the thing. If you don't have one, get one.
What the heck? Okay. Ime Udoka, let's just talk about it. In Boston, they are one of those franchises that you cannot have any relationship with anyone in the organization.
Without permission.
Without permission. This was reported when it came out from Woj and Zach Lowe that this was a consensual relationship that he had with one of the members of the organization, assuming it's a subordinate. Right. I feel like they never said who it was. One of the issues around this scandal was everyone was trying to guess who it was. So they were posting people in the organization, innocent women that did not have anything to do with anything. I mean, crappy situation all around, 100%. Like there's no argument about that. But they said consensual. Then they had a press conference. Brad Stevens and I don't even know, Wyke something. Whatever his name is, the owner, Gutenberg something. They came out and said that there was an in-depth investigation that happened, that things were brought to their attention. They brought a third-party organization to come in. They felt like this was the only thing that they could have done according to company policy, not NBA, not anything else, but Boston. This is not an NBA suspension. Yeah. This is between them.
Boston.
Only Boston, and they will reevaluate him in a year. So his suspension was for an entire year, and he said we'll reevaluate in a year from now. Brandon, with all that to be said, and I cut out a lot of things. There was a lot of other things that were happening during that. That was the meat and potatoes. What do you think? Like, what's your reactions? What the heck?
When I saw this first break, I was like, you just moved your family to Boston, your wife, your kids, and then you get caught doing this. Like, why? Like, why are you doing it? Like, it's just, it was not needed. I mean, everyone makes their own choices in life. I don't approve it, but it's just like, come on now. I I don't see Boston keeping him. I really don't. I think one, I'm not sure how they're going to be now. I looked at like all the sides, their win total dropped a few games, and everything. Other teams are predicted to finish like now winning the East besides them more. It's just like if Boston can win without him, they definitely don't keep him. But also, like, do you want to keep him around if you're gonna like have this kind of like loom over everyone's head if he were to come back next year and be like, okay, we kept him, but our head coach is a cheater now. It's like, what do you really want? I feel like he might get a chance somewhere else, but not as a head coach for now. I feel like they're gonna get rid of him. They gave themselves a year to basically find who they want to replace him. Because we're gonna see if this is.
So why did they come out and say that they will reevaluate in a year? And this is a man that just took you to the NBA finals. Like, because just happened.
I think they want to see if it's a culture that he's built where someone else can take over and it still be the thing, and they don't necessarily need him. Because if they don't need him, then why would you keep the guy?
But I think so. Like, to that point, why would you keep this guy? Why did you bring in the third party if it was a consensual relationship? I feel like there's just something in terms of the story of what happened that is not.
We're never going to hear the whole thing. Yeah,
we're never going to hear it. So unfortunately, we'll never know why they kept them. Like, I've heard some rumors, and I saw Malika Andrews go on First Take. She yelled at Kendrick Perkins. She yelled at Stephen A. Smith. Just like there's some like consensual. Like if he's suspended for a year and it was consensual, then like is she suspended too? Like what's going on?
So unless we know who she is, we're never going to know if she's suspended. She might be just fired by now.
Right. And just like slipped under the rug. All that to be said is we don't know why he was suspended, and we may not ever, but we also don't know why they kept him. So my thought is this is not like last year. Yeah, you have the same players. First of all, Robin, I forget.
Robert.
The key to their defense, the 5, is hurt and will come back maybe December, right? Which is when he came, like last year when they turned it on and they went on that huge win streak. They had that huge January, February. Next thing you know, it was the NBA Finals. They were still in it. So they have that chance. Jaylen Brown, if I was him, I'd be pissed. The organization tried to trade him, not Ime Udoka, right? Now the coach that he liked maybe like is now gone.
It's going to be interesting to see if that culture is still there or if it's just now a rebuilding team, even though they have the pieces. But
they just signed Jalen Brunson, right? So like, was that Ime Udoka's decision and like how he saw that was going to fit? How does this next guy come in? I think there's a lot of question marks, and like this isn't a basketball issue that happened. So like it's fair to just talk about Ime Udoka as the basketball guy, but like he's a damn good coach.
Yeah, that's right? I think that's why they have
the year. Tricky
because he's a good coach. If he was a bad coach, done, easy, gone.
Oh, he's gone.
But because he's a good coach,
really,
it makes it difficult. So that's why I think they give themselves a year of like, okay, who could we replace him with if we were to fire him? Legit. Okay, we can't get anyone better. Okay, let's keep him and see what happens. But
right. And I think they need a strong leader in this year where Jason Tatum, young guy, didn't have the best finals. Jaylen Brown, heard he was going to be traded, still didn't have the best finals. You just signed Brunson. You still have your core pieces around you. You need that defensive scheme that he implemented, Ime Udoka. How is that going to translate? Or is this new interim coach going to keep those things? I think this team, the first few months, is not going to look the same until Robert Williams come back, and they'll be 500. Like, I really don't see this team excelling that much.
I was gonna say, long term, like this year, do you think they're gonna like make playoffs and make a deep run, or do you think that having a coaching change is gonna affect them more than?
I think it's gonna affect them a lot in the East. The East has picked up. Brooklyn's still there. Philly's still there. You got the Young Bucks in Miami. You still have Giannis you got to face. I mean, can they make it to the playoffs? Absolutely. But the playoffs is when you need the coach.
Yeah.
That's when you need it. You don't need it during the Wednesday game when you're playing in Utah. Like, that's when you need them. And I think that's when it will go show. Like, they could still make it, maybe even a play-in and lose, right? But, like, I don't see them having the same success as last year.
I agree.
Compared to the field, it's just
Yeah,
if it was the West,
the East
maybe
is going stronger as a whole. That's fair. But
because
speaking of the West,
looking at the West, yeah, the Suns, and this is news to me, but DeAndre came out today and said, "Remind me of the story because you told me."
Yeah, so apparently he hasn't talked to his coach since the loss of Game 7. And then his coach was like, "I've talked to lots of players." Is that him just covering, his own side of the story,
But
or what? Like, is this a big deal? Is it not a big deal?
it is
What
huge.
do you think? Okay.
It is huge. First of all, Monty Williams not talking to his players, and you have CP3 on your team. Like, one, that's cap, but two, like, he may not talk to everyone, but his message is getting out through everyone because of CP3. That's just my thought. But this is a big deal because DeAndre.
What I want to know.
Yeah.
What I want to know is is it really also the coach is not talking, or is it that Aiden just push it aside? See, that's the thing. We don't know. Like, Aiden could just be like, "I'll talk to y'all when the season starts up again," and then just was out. Like, we know there was bad blood between them during the Game 7 loss and everything. Everyone remembers that. So it's like,
Totally.
what? I feel like this story needs to have more over the next week, probably, and there probably will become more details of what actually is happening. Like, if it's just Aiden, okay, there's a problem between those two. But if it comes out to be legit, like half the team or like multiple players at least, that says a lot about Monty Williams.
Right. And I think why we need more information again, but I think we'll get it. DeAndre Ayton was supposed to be traded. I mean, KD was supposed to come to this team, right? He was the trade piece. I think it's interesting for this team who has these big hopes, these big dreams to make it and win the championship. You lose to the Bucks. You had a very disappointing last season. And now your coach ain't talking to people. He's not talking. One of your big three is not talking to people, which he is. That's a big three. Him, and Booker. Like, this is a big issue. And you can't go into the season. I don't see him staying this season. I see him by the trade deadline moving, getting him some assets.
But he just signed a massive contract. I mean,
but this is not. You sign that massive contract, you can't throw the team under the bus like that. And no offense, these massive contracts don't mean anything no more because look at KD trying to move no one cares about these massive contracts.
I mean, I will always say that I think the Suns are the best regular season team, and they will never win the finals. So,
unfortunately, and I think this definitely doesn't help them try to win it.
Not at all. Not at all.
So,
but
going from theoretically the postseason to a week and a half away from the postseason, man, give me what's that shirt say, buddy? Because I got my hoodie.
No champions. Your team's a lot more past than mine, in my opinion. Seems like
it didn't age well.
Really, it did not age well. It's fine.
It's okay.
Yeah, no. Postseason baseball comes in week and a half, 2 weeks, and it's still come down the wire for a couple teams. But first, our pool hosting machine hits 700th home run, only fourth person in MLB history to do that, man. And it was a bomb too. Shout out to him though, because he's retiring. He's gonna be missed. He's the love all around.
100%.
Then Aaron Jones, he's closed on the season, single season home run record.
You mean Judge?
Didn't hit. I don't even know what I said. Yes, Judge. Okay, so moving. No, Judge is closing on the home run record. Will he get it? We'll find out. He's 2 off right now, but we'll see.
I think
But what really matters is the AL is kind of set on things. The Yankees just clinched the division. The NL East as a whole is just a madhouse right now. The Braves won tonight. The Mets lost, so they're half a game back now behind the Mets for the division. And then this weekend they play each other for 3 games. It's going to be madness. Both teams are making the playoffs either way. But boy, would I love to just clinch that division somehow and not have to play the wild card round, because the wild card round is going to be crazy as well. Like, the Braves are in there for sure, or the Mets, whoever doesn't win the division. And then there's one, then you got a couple teams fighting for it, like last minute teams, and it's going to be interesting because they're all possible, but also like one loss could call it for you. Like this point,
Really?
it's so close. Like let's see, I haven't checked all the score updates, but if you would want to look at wild card right now, so like you got Seattle over in, so this is AL. You got Seattle, Baltimore. Like Seattle holds the last spot, and Baltimore is 3.5 back. It's like just so they can make it still, but you got some teams at 8 and 9 who theoretically could make it, but you're not gonna. That basically you win all, the other teams lose all. It's not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
But over in the National League, you got San Diego, Philly, Milwaukee, all within like 3 games of each other to clinch that last spot, and only one of them will make it. Or 2 of them will make it, but 1 won't. And then San Francisco's outside looking in with 8 behind. But I mean, my bad. It's just updated. The Braves are meant to tie for the division now, not half a game back. So it's legit like it's going down the wire. They have 2 more games until they play each other for 3 games, and 3 games after that. It's gonna be close. But
So
I
wait,
believe in my
wait.
Braves.
I'm not going to bring it up, but the Padres are where?
Wild card. Yeah. They're technically in the wild card right now. It's close, but they're not. They might miss it. They might not. I know what you said. I know. Listen, should I mention Washington just for you? Do you want me to mention Washington?
Yes, please.
Okay, one second. Let me go to the overall standings. Y'all are the worst team in baseball. Appreciate the dub again tonight, though. Really do. Y'all are 53 and 101.
Where? Okay, I just have to take it because I know what's coming next. I'm not going to say it.
Let's move on to football. Do you want to talk actual football or fantasy football first? Which one do you want to talk first? Because we can do either one for me. I'm fine with both.
Does it matter?
It's your decision. Your decision.
I don't think it is.
I will let you pick, sir. Whatever you want.
Just kill me already.
Okay, so fantasy football. Me and Wadid played each other this week. It was great. And last week we didn't get this on the pod because life happens, but we had made the bet the last pod we missed a week about the Chiefs versus the I can't even think
Chargers.
who it was. Chargers. And I had the Chiefs winning, but he had the Chargers within 3.5. And unfortunately the Chargers only lost by 3. So he won the bet. And then we played each other in fantasy football, and Woody was like, "Oh, what about double or nothing?" And I was like, "Okay, 100% confidence in this." At the time, our teams were both projected like 145, very close to each other. And then Wadidcha just kept his mouth shut because my team decided to smack you down and get me 2 meals. Final score was 144 to 111. It was glorious and everything. Lamar Jackson, what a stud for fantasy football. Just under 40 points for me. And I I definitely did this to a deed. I called him. Actually, I made him call me. And I made him look at my bench and show that I could have beat him by about 50 more points. As merciful as I am as a human, I spared him by losing by almost 100. I only lose by like 40, 30, whatever you want to say. But he was very down on himself. He couldn't even enjoy Monday Night Football. It felt like because he was already lost Monday. It was hurtful for him. I was tears of joy. I danced in the street, everything about it. And I can't wait to do it when I play you again. And when I do play you again, I'm going to be enjoying my free food that you have to buy me as we play each other.
Couple things, just 2 things. 1, okay. First of all, I get it. The Falcons won. They beat the Seahawks. Your chest is a little puffed up. I see when you're talking, you're a little hyped. I'm with you. When I get you your food, just please don't choke on it like they do. Just like don't choke. Please.
That's fine.
Don't fumble the bag.
Yeah.
Second of all, the game itself, I have never seen anything like it. whatever point system we are going off of, at one point we were in the 160s versus like 161. Like that was our teams were blowing up at first. Like I had a couple guys in the 20s. He had a couple guys in like the 20s. It was projecting like 160 score. Like Brandon's slope was like this. Mine went like this. Like for some godforsaken reason, just don't catfish me. That's all I ask. ESPN Fantasy.
I won't like
What happened?
the worst part though was when we first started looking at the matchups, when we called each other like at 1:15, the matches just got on, and it's like 1:30, we're still on the phone. And I looked at my bench, and I had Singletary on the bench, and I looked at my running backs on my team, and I was like, I'm gonna lose this with Singletary putting up mad points. And then like I looked back later, and it didn't matter, and it made me so happy because I also had the Cardinals receiver who put up 28 points in the second half, basically.
How
And
am
I
I
was,
supposed to know that?
I know, right?
How?
But it was glorious. If you didn't see the post on this Instagram story, go follow us on Instagram. It was great.
I just have to say this. If I had my other team in this league, I killed, shout out Sammy, who watches the pod. I killed her. It was like 150 to like 98. Killed
That's
it.
cute. If I put my full strength roster on,
Devontae Smith.
that's true. That dude's a stud.
Holy God.
Yeah. But
Let's
let's
just
move on
get
to
into
legit
it.
football. Let's move on to legit football. Thursday night. Let's start there. Browns versus Steelers.
Okay.
Browns whooped up on them, 29-17. Nick Chubb is a really good running back. Shout out to my Georgia boy.
He is.
The Falcons play them this week. I'm a little scared, but at the same time, it's the Browns.
Okay, but I have to say this. I like Jacoby Brissett. I think he's a solid quarterback.
Do you think that you will drop Deshaun Watson off your fantasy team for Jacoby Brissett, though? If you truly like him.
Can I be honest? The way Joe Burrow has been playing recently, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
Joey Burrow is not too hot for you, but he's been doing very solid for the Browns.
It's just the question is this defense. Like, let's just call it as we see it.
Also,
what is happening?
Miles Garrett was in a car accident last night.
Yeah, no drugs or alcohol. It was just like an accident.
There was an animal he had to swerve to dodge or something. I briefly saw the story today. But he's okay.
I don't know the full details, but he's cleared today.
Yeah,
thank God.
So,
but I mean,
how much will that affect the Browns? Like, how much will that affect him?
His presence didn't make much of a difference. Let's just say it how it is. Like, they were struggling before. They're going to continue to struggle. And that's the downfall of this team. No offense, even if Deshaun Watson comes back, does he fix the defense? No. Like,
no.
That's why this team isn't going to really shake out well going forward in the division. I mean, the Steelers suck. Let's just say it.
The Steelers do suck.
Mitchell Trubisky, get rid of him. Where's Kenny Pickett? Play him.
Yeah.
Play him. At this point,
why are you not playing him?
Like, Trubisky cannot do it. But
no,
that's all I have to say about that. Good, solid game. Divisional game. Not bad. Where do you want to go next?
We can go Falcons Steelers. Falcons Seahawks. Sorry. Falcons Seahawks. Let's go.
Give me your
reaction.
To that. I'm sure you're feeling it. You guys didn't lose. It's a good game.
We didn't lose. We tried to lose a few times. We did. We really need to stop fumbling the ball in the fourth quarter. I would love if we could stop that. But no, it was a solid win. Seattle's a tough place to play, even when Seattle's not a great team. Like, the 12th man is it's a hard place to play because of that. We finally started getting the ball to Kyle Pitts a bit more. Made me happy because him and Drake London are 1 and 2. Like, you got to feed them the ball.
Yep.
But Cordero Patterson is popping off this season. So shout out to him, having a career year so far. We needed that win because blew the Saints game. If we hadn't let the Rams go so early in like such a large lead, who knows what happened? We almost came back in the game. We weren't going to, but both our games were close. And then we were able to pull this close game out. We faced the Browns this week. It's in Atlanta. I really could see it going either way because the Browns, like you say, are a questionable team. They're very good at times, but at the same time, they're the Browns. So it's like, who really knows what we're going to get from them? I overall 1-2 in the first 3 games. We could have been 2-1, really. I'll take it. So,
Yeah. Let's go to
um,
my team. Can we go to my team? Similar
sure.
situation.
Did
You
y'all
guys won
blow
by
this
4?
lead? Did you blow this lead or no? I didn't watch the game, so I wasn't sure.
We did blow it. Like, unfortunately, we had it. They came back, scored a touchdown. I have to admit this. Like, it's established that the Lions are a solid team. Like, it's 100% established that they know how to play football and they can play it well. That's not the history of the Lions. That's all I'm going to say. But they need to learn how to win the game and not like preserve the win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I heard that from Marcus Spears today, and it stuck with me. Like, we just need to freaking win the game. We have the most close game losses in the NFL for the past year. We have like 7 games where we lost within 4 points.
But pause. My internet cut out for a moment, so if there's a gap in the pod, I apologize, everyone. But you told me you don't want me to choke on my food when I eat it, that you buy it for me. I didn't realize y'all gave up 14 points in the fourth and scored 0. I don't want you to choke on the water when you drink it next, bud. Don't talk to me like you don't choke as well. I know you guys are used to these close games, but bud, you had that in the bag.
All I'm going to say is this. If we had to think of who has the more realistic opportunity to win the division, the Lions or the Falcons, I don't want to hear anything else you have to say. No offense.
Honestly,
don't.
That's fine. Let's move on. Let's move on to my division then. Let's move
on to your division and my division. Are we thinking of the same game?
No, I'm talking about Saints Panthers first before we get to the next game.
Okay, give that.
Panthers beat the Saints, which just proves that so the Falcons, Saints, and Panthers were all trash teams. You let Baker Mayfield beat you. You're trash. All I'm going to say to that. You're trash.
Christian McCaffrey, that is literally like a twig.
Yeah. But then if we want to move on to the division games that our divisions play each other, Green Bay versus
Well,
Bucks.
also, wait, forgive me. Jameis Winston, is he back to old Jameis?
Yeah.
5 interceptions?
Yeah. Seems like it. He might be trying to beat his own record. He might be going for like 30, 35 this year.
Insane.
He
has an extra game
Green
to
Bay
do
versus the Bucks. That's true. This game, in my opinion, was just bad all around.
You have two
you have two goated quarterbacks. Let's just be real.
You have the most talented quarterback versus the GOAT, and it was a defensive show.
But not even like good defensively. Like it was like ugly. The offense is just and Buccaneers lost. The NFC South right now is anyone's division.
Yeah,
like it's anyone's division. Like next week, if the Falcons win, they could be tied for the NFC South lead right now, which I didn't think I could tell you after week 1. After week 1, I would say we were last.
Right.
The fact that we have a chance, but yeah, I know the Bucks didn't have Mike
Their
Evans.
top 3 wide receivers.
Well, Julio's hurt for like multiple weeks now. Who didn't see that one coming now?
Chris Godwin.
I told you that. Yeah. But Tom Brady's, I hate to say it, Father Time's starting to look like it finally caught Tom Brady.
Okay, I disagree. Slightly.
I had a Boston fan text me today, pretty much that like Tom Brady's season's like it's going to be a horrendous season for him, and he's a Boston fan, and he loves Tom Brady with a passion. It's Chris. You know Chris. I
know Chris, and shout out Chris, and like he's humble and all of these things, but I'm gonna have to defend our boy. Okay, just slightly. You don't have your top 3 options.
God, you are bandwagon.
Why are we saying this after this game when, no offense, we still have them as favorites to come out of the NFC? Because
Green Bay's defense is not good. That's the thing. Green Bay's defense isn't good.
Oh, on the contrary, we trust their defense more than their offense.
Well, yes, but that's not going saying into much
the season.
Right now.
No, but going into the season, they have Jair Alexander. They have some studs on that defense now.
I dropped. They don't have Devontae after week 1. I said I was done with Green Bay. I said I'm done.
Well, it's because their offense couldn't do anything. They couldn't catch a pass.
I'm done.
defense is just gonna get tired. Haram. But like
Yeah.
that is like let's just pump the brakes. Like if he had all three and he lost in this fashion, sure.
Okay.
Maybe we could
We'll
ask
talk
the
next
question.
week then.
We'll see next
Talk
week.
next
Who
week.
do they got next week?
Because next week they play. Who do they play?
They
They
play
play-
the Chiefs. Let's see. No
Oh,
offense.
God, that's
Let's see.
Chiefs
Because
didn't look good either. I won't lie.
Chiefs didn't look good.
great.
Let's get to that game. Let's just do it.
Let's do it. Chiefs
You
lost
lose
to
to
the Colts.
Colts.
Matt Ryan in the fourth quarter, baby. Man knows how to score in the fourth.
That's never happened before in the history of his career. Should I remind you?
No, it happens a lot.
Day?
Just that's the one time it didn't happen. It's
Okay.
happened every game besides that game.
Just that was a fluke. Could we just address that? That was 100%
Yeah,
a
yeah,
fluke.
that was a
Won't
fluke.
happen again.
It honestly, if what was it, Chandler Jones? They got a 15-yard taunting call on Matt Ryan, which allowed the Colts to go and score. Basically, the Chiefs should have won the game. Yeah, Chiefs should have won the game. Let's move quick through a couple games. Bears beat the Texans 23-20.
Good for you guys.
Yeah,
for coming home in the new year. God bless you. Have a good one.
Tennessee beat the Raiders. Raiders the only 0-3 team in the NFL.
This is not a quick one to pass over.
No, I know.
That's
why I paused. That's why I paused.
Okay.
That's why I paused for you.
First of all,
what?
I just need to say this.
Where did you have the Raiders?
Okay.
in
Okay.
division?
That's just.
Did you have them at 2? Did you have them at 2?
2?
Yeah, I know. I wanted to spare you and say 2 just for your sake, but yeah, I know. Where
No,
you have
because
them,
if I said they're at 2, you would have called me on this so quick.
100%,
You would have been like,
I gave you one little out, but I wasn't actually giving you an out. It was like
fantasy.
You're projected 160, thinking you're gonna get it, but you don't really.
You get 100. But okay, can I tell you a stat that I didn't know?
Please.
If you had to guess, first of all, they've lost all the games close. They've not had a blowout loss.
That's true. Well,
how many receptions does Devontae Adams have in the fourth quarter through the first 3 games? If you could get it.
I'm gonna go 2.
It is 2. How many times is he targeted?
In the fourth quarter?
In the fourth quarter.
I'm gonna go 2 as well.
No, 15.
Oh my God. I thought it was just gonna be like he just hasn't had the ball thrown to him in the fourth. That's why.
No, so let me explain. So I was watching film. Not really. I watch NFL Live. If you don't watch it, great show because they actually break down the numbers.
They do.
Derek Carr.
Hall of Fame quarterback, apparently.
Huh?
According to his team, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah, they need to slow down a little bit. Just bad.
Well, the guy who's caught 2 of 15 passes says that as well.
But like that's not a lot. He's not even looking in his direction when they're in the red zone. Like there's 6 to 7 plays that they showed me in an hour-long show for a segment of 5 minutes where he is not like Devontae Adams is open and he's not even looking in his direction. That's an easy fix.
You know
and
who
I
that
promise
reminds me
you,
of?
Who?
Matt Ryan and Julio Jones.
Let's just move on. But shout out Derrick Henry because he finally looked like Derrick Henry again. He didn't get
Thank
knocked
God,
out.
because that's the reason I beat you.
That's the reason why you beat me. But I love Derrick Henry. He's a stud, old school running back. Can we pass through this one? Bengals Jets. Okay. Cool. We're good.
Joey Burrow had to win that game. He had to win it.
You can't lose it. There's no way. What other games are there?
Rams, Cardinals.
This was interesting.
It was interesting. Rams, I think, were the better team, but like at the same time, it's just the Cardinals moved the ball. They just couldn't finish like point wise, it felt like.
Yeah.
Jags
beat the Chargers.
Big time. Holy cow.
Not just time. Like whooped.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's all I got.
I mean, that doesn't make your pick look great.
No, it does not. Doug Peterson, coach of the year, possibly?
Dude, honestly,
yeah.
Yes. And they don't even have to be like, they have to be 500, but that's all they have to be.
They're going to be better than we thought they were. Ravens, my bad. Lamar Jackson beat the Patriots. Let's just say what it is. Lamar Jackson beat the Patriots. Dolphins beat the Bills though, aka the Bills forgot how to do time management, and their OC I thought was going to break something in pieces.
So, okay, wait. Let's just get to this other one. The Eagles Commanders.
Oh, no. Pause. We'll go to that one in a moment.
Okay, so the last 4 games then that we haven't addressed. Let's just
Yeah,
go
yeah.
one by one.
All right.
Bills in the 1 o'clock time slot, 21-19. Dolphins win. Can I just say my
Ran
thoughts
out
on
of
the game?
time. Go for it.
Huh?
Ran out of time, but go for it. I'm saying the Bills ran out of time.
Yeah. This is not going to happen again.
No.
They do a butt punt.
Yeah. Miami, let's just say what it is.
What?
Miami looks good, but also the Miami should be 2-1. They should not be 3-0, but they look good at the same time.
And I think Tua getting hurt, coming back in, whatever, like that controversy. It's 2022 with the amount of like people involved in these games that say like, oh, it's definitely a concussion, and like they're questioning the NFL is doing their job investigating. The NFLPA.
It just
doing
looked
their
really
job
bad because he stood up and then he dropped
And-
again when he's like, that it looked bad.
But there's
I do
so
agree.
many people there that it's like really like they're gonna protect them.
If we found out that he actually did have a concussion, though, the Dolphins are going to be for some massive fines.
And they already are, and screwed from Brian Flores. Yeah. So like they can't really afford it. But the Bills, I have to admit, Josh Allen didn't look great.
He did not
throughout the game, and like Stephon Diggs got frustrated, and like he plays well, but like it's also Miami in September, where the stadium is literally meant to screw over the opponents. So like when they play each other in the cold, like we're gonna be looking at this game like it's 100% different.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and move on to your Commanders. Not only did the Eagles destroy you, I believe I told you, I can't remember either over the phone or text, as I had the Eagles defense, that we were going to shut you out, which pretty much it was a garbage time point.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was watching that game and I just kept seeing 0 next to your team, and it brought me joy because it knew that I had more points on you in fantasy. Moving on.
Can we wait? No, let's not move on yet. Can we talk about how good these Eagles are? Because I don't think they're giving them enough credit.
They are very good in my opinion. Hurts looking really good.
It's scary. This team. They have guys on that team. Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
Stud. AJ Brown.
They
had the best running attack last year, and they're not even using it that much because they could just kill you in the air, or they could just ground and pound and beat you. And then even if they play these 5 out, Jalen Hurts could just run it. Like this team is scary.
I'm trying to one sec. I'm gonna look real fast though. They also the 3 teams they played though, they played Lions in a shootout and won. You should not be in a shootout with the Lions. You whooped up on Minnesota, but that's Kirk Cousins on Monday Night Football. He never plays Monday Night Football. He just doesn't know how to do it unless he's playing against. There's one team he knows how to, but. So the 3 teams they beat have not been great teams. Like Washington looked good.
That's a great point. That's a great point. I'm not gonna lie.
I want to see them play. I want to see them play against like the Chiefs, the Bills, Miami. I'm trying to think, from the NFC, like the Rams, maybe like play against these top teams that we have considered as these top teams and see what would happen then. I still think.
Can I be honest? That's a very good point. Maybe we do need to pump the brakes a little bit. But I think the way,
but not too much, just a little tap. Yeah,
he developed very well, and you know what? Like next week they got the Jags. That's it.
Yeah, which could be interesting because the Jags look good. So I think this will be a good test. If it's a shootout again, we might need to worry. But if they, especially after what the Jags did to the Chargers,
100%.
But I guess we can move on to Sunday night. I don't know if you call it football.
I would like it wasn't even like a good game of goldfish, like either. Like the card game.
Sunday night, step out the end zone. Is that good?
Dan Orlovsky, first of all, I love him.
So
Did
happy.
you see?
Oh my god, he was
No!
free. Yeah, no, this game, the Broncos look so bad. It's still. I
How
don't know, like the fact that they got
I
the
didn't see
win.
this.
Congrats, but
They're
my
a bad
goodness,
team.
they
Russell
are.
Wilson is a bad quarterback right now. We have to say it.
Garoppolo looked bad himself. Given his safety step out of bounds, saved them 5 points because it was a pick six that he threw from that. But still, like that game is just that's what you expect when you like have like Jets Carolina play.
Right.
Like that's not when
Right.
you hear Broncos 49ers, you're expecting like a close game, but like 25-27, something like that. You feel like this team's are gonna put up points. And this was George Kittle coming back for the first game of his season. And it's just I'm worried for both these teams. Because right now it's becoming a two-horse race over in the AFC West. And the Broncos and Raiders are about to be out.
Oh, can I be honest? I'm more concerned with the Broncos than the 49ers. I think the 49ers will get their crap together. They always do.
I think this was just Garoppolo's first game starting, and he had, a little shaky. It was primetime TV. Just it is what it is. But no, the Broncos. I'm very concerned with the Broncos. Like
they did not sign Russell Wilson or trade for him to get this.
No. Did you hear? Was it Eli or Peyton Manning last night saying they should have paid the punter instead? Like the money they paid Russell Wilson, they should have paid the punter instead. And I was like, oof.
They just don't look good, and like
they don't.
Schematically, terrible. Like their plays, they hired a guy.
Oh
To
yeah.
track the time.
Yeah.
Because the head coach couldn't do it. That's a joke. That's a serious joke.
That's what Dan Quinn had to do as a Falcons head coach. We know how that worked out. So they're in trouble. They're in serious trouble. But
I mean, we both had them last in our division. So
yeah, we did.
But we thought it was going to be like they were at least 500. I'm hopeful. Yeah. I hope they can make it there. Hoping.
Yeah.
I think the Raiders can fix it. I don't think the Broncos can.
The Raiders can fix that. I think the Raiders are more of a wild card at this point. I think they're too far back in the division already.
100%.
Even though they're only 2 games back, that in the division wise is just too much in that division specifically. But in a division that's anyone's game, maybe, even though the Eagles are in there, Cowboys, Giants. The game was boring until the 4th, in my opinion.
Yeah, like the end of the 3rd to the 4th.
Oh my gosh. But Cowboys pulled out a win, which
I mean, I'm impressed. Can I be honest? I hate him. But like Dak Prescott's out, Cooper Rush, you come in there, you don't lose the game. I want his job. Don't lose the game. You're not supposed to win. And like every once in a while, try to help us win. And like that pass to CD.
Yeah. What I want to see is to say while Dak's out, if Rush goes like 3, like if he's out for 4 games, if he goes 3-1, or if it's 5 games, he goes like 4-1. Does Dak start or does Cooper Rush stay?
Can I be honest?
I think he stays.
I think Jerry Jones wants him to stay.
Yeah.
But this is the issue. Like,
you paid Dak.
You paid him.
Yeah.
I think Cooper Rush is a good quarterback. He's 100% good. He won't lose the game for you. He won't try to do too much. He knows his place, all of that. But what's interesting is like, okay, next week you got the Commanders. Okay, so he's like already 3-0. And then like you get the Rams. No offense, like
the Rams haven't looked great. The Rams should win that, but they haven't looked like the Rams from last year.
And I don't know where that is because that's week 5. I don't know where it is exactly, if it's in LA or in Dallas. But
we'll talk about next week.
It's going to be interesting how the Giants, I know they were 2-0.
Daniel Jones
is still the quarterback.
I'm going to say this now. If Jerry Jones wants Cooper Rush to be his quarterback, trade Dak Prescott to the Giants, get picks, get stuff for him, and then beat him again. Because that's what you 100%. Would do.
100%.
And Jerry Jones
I loved how Saquon looked, though. I loved how Saquon looked.
If the Giants can get them, the other problem though is, was it Shepard for the Giants? It's like a $21.6 million cap hit or something. And Julio
out for the
Jones has
season.
done more for Tampa Bay.
It's going to be the NFC least again, honestly.
Yeah.
Like they all started out strong, but they're going to have the classic story of like everyone's crap and like
Somehow
not
all
really
of you will end
compete.
up 9-8. 8-9, 9-8 is what
100%.
that or the Eagles actually will pull ahead. I think it's either everyone's
The
gonna be
Eagles
close or
have
the
an
Eagles
easy
pull.
schedule though.
They do.
Look at their schedule. Their
Yeah.
schedule is a joke. Let me pull it up because like, can you pull up the Cowboys schedule?
Yeah, I got you right now.
Because like realistically, it's between these two teams, and I think me and you can both agree on that for the division.
Yeah.
The Eagles, they have the Jaguars, should dub. Cardinals, should dub. Cowboys, should dub. Steelers, should dub. Texans, should dub.
It depends if the Steelers have switched the quarterback or not. Depends
I think
who's
even
quarterback.
then.
No, I know.
Through the first
Steelers
3
are a bad
games,
team.
they have the most snaps on defense. That is embarrassing.
Also,
without TJ.
TJ Watt's out, so yeah.
Then you got so what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against the Texans, 6 against the Commanders, 7 against the Colts. The Packers, let's give it a loss. What is that? 10-1.
You can throw the Colts
right
a lot. You can throw the Colts a lot because they have Jonathan Taylor. There's a possibility the Colts. Yeah,
9-2.
But either way, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Actually, no, let's not do that because they're going to face the Titans. They could actually lose that game.
That's true too.
So like even what? 9
but yeah, their schedule's very easy.
The Giants again, 10. The Bears, 11. Cowboys, let's give it to them again, 12. Saints, Jameis was back. Giants again. They could be 14-3, and we could be like.
The Cowboys have an easy schedule also though. Like the Cowboys play They play Commanders. They play the Rams then, but so like at Eagles. But then it's Lions, Bears, Packers. Who knows if the wide receivers catch the ball or not? You play Vikings then, which Vikings look great one week and then another week they don't. Like who?
I'll give them that one, but I'll give them a loss to the Packers.
Okay. Giants play the Giants, Colts, Texans, Jaguars, Eagles, Tennessee, Commanders again. Like they're both light schedules.
And they both finished the same record.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's so stupid how the NFC East somehow always ends up 9-8 or some stupid crap.
But they're gonna be above 500, but not convincing. Like they're not gonna be like a typical 13-12 win team. It's gonna be like they can lose in the first round, and I wouldn't be surprised. But happy for Cooper Rush. CeeDee Lamb looked good. He looked like a number 1 wide receiver, even though he missed that open pass. That beautiful one hand. I mean, he's legit.
If we want to talk about a one-handed catch, George Pickens from the Steelers Thursday night. Ooh, shout out to another Georgia boy. We're built different in the South.
Let's end it on this. Whose was harder, Odell or his?
His. If you look at the way that the ball was thrown and like how he had to turn, Odell was like falling that direction already from the foul. And his was more straight back. But he had to like go like kind of like sideways. I just feel like his was more difficult. They're both too
insane. Like it's hairs. My preference is personally Odell.
Those two, that's fair. Those two top 3 NFL catches of all time, put them 1 or 2, whichever one you want. And if for some reason you have some third one, go for it. But like those two are in the top 3 100%.
100%. And on that note, congratulations on beating me in a few things.
Yep.
Good week. We'll catch you guys next week for more football, short end basketball come up, and hopefully some final standings in baseball, right?
Yeah, because I mean, at that point we'll have literally 1 or 2 games left, and at that point, pretty much everything should be decided. If not, then stressful time for Brandon, depending on how things are.
But
not
we'll
for
catch you guys.
You have to wait till next year.
And on that note, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.